We're live. It's a Monday. Welcome to Our House Mondays, my friends. Let me just get the lighting a little bit corrected here. I have a big announcement to make. I think it takes a lot of different things to take place, and they have to sort of happen in a succession before I kick into this mode. I welcome Slick Nick, I welcome Sherelle, I welcome Patrick. Good afternoon, good evening to you all. Happy Monday. Hopefully your week is off to a great start. Now, I had a meeting with my tech team. I've been working with Professor Olson since early 2000s for almost 20 years now. One of my most trusted partners, brilliant tech guy, professor at 2 universities. And the guy, if I say the guy makes shit happen, he makes shit happen. So it didn't take long, ladies and gentlemen, to share my vision with Professor Brian Olson. And I said to him, I welcome Marianne, I welcome Omar, I welcome Philippe. I hope everyone's families are doing great. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Jimmy's in the house. Happy Monday, you all. Now, in a nutshell, I'm going to announce a future date, probably 60 days time, a date and a time. There will be a specific date and a specific time in the near future, in 2 months' time, where we will organize the world's largest online strike. And last night I made the decision, and when I make a decision, I lock in. It's just like when I used to do concerts or big events. I knew, or at that time, I know exactly what's before me. I got to put a lot of factors together to pull off a spectacular show. So 30, 40,000 people who are paying get to have an amazing experience. I did this in Europe, I did this in South Africa, and I did this in Los Angeles twice, down in the South Bay. Not on a grand scale like I did in Europe or South Africa, but it was a mammoth undertaking with a lot of sponsors, a lot of money involved, a lot of coordination, a lot of logistics. And you've got to say, can you do it? Yes, I can. So when I tell you that if I look at the field out there, all the gig companies, let me throw out some names: Amazon Flex, Uber, Lyft. Thomas, you're a true warrior. Thomas, you'll be interested in this. I appreciate you. Keep it up. So I look at all these players in the field, right? I look at Rideshare Drivers United. I look at the Mobile Alliance. I look at Gig Workers Rising. And yes, they all have something in common, right? Especially in California, they were truly, truly fighting for the drivers. Now, they may have had an alternative agenda behind it. Maybe they were trying to get people into a union. But the bottom line is they went out and made a ton of noise. And they got under these gig companies, especially Uber and Lyft's skin, and they pushed for change. Now, they were up against this behemoth $208 million machine, right? And they didn't win on Proposition 22. But when I tell you what they collectively did in California was powerful. Now, we have never, ever, right, done anything on a worldwide scale. You know, when you're talking 10, 15 million gig workers, right? And again, could be Amazon Flex, Shipt, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, Bolt. If you count all the gig workers, you know, I mean, Uber operates in 900 cities. There are so many European cities, international cities, right? I am going to use the next 60 to 90 days. I've got to determine, can I pull this off in 60 days or can I pull this off in 90 days? But I want to have the biggest alliance of gig workers worldwide, and picking a date and an online strike. This has never, ever been done before, right? Maybe somebody rushes in and does it right now. I've researched everything. There has never been a worldwide online strike. Now, no, we won't be doing a fundraiser. We're just going to be having people participate, right? And I'll go through that, how people can participate, right? Basically, ambassadors in every city. And what we are going to do is we are going to, let's say, select 1,000 cities, the biggest cities, and we're going to have people hosting either a Zoom meeting. And remember, a free Zoom meeting allows 100 people, 100 gig workers to participate for 40 minutes. Facebook, you have Facebook Live, you have YouTube Live. We are going to find out and pick these players in Las Vegas, in Tennessee, in Miami, in Tampa, in Orlando, in LA, in San Diego, in Denver, Colorado, in New York, in Chicago, in Rhode Island, in Tokyo, in Germany. I mean, not Germany, in Berlin, in Sydney, in Adelaide, in all of these cities. We're going to get one person to host a Zoom meeting. All of those Zoom meetings will be set for a specific date and a specific time. All of those Facebook and future YouTube live meetings will be set for a specific date and a specific time. For example, I already spoke to Rideshare Trickster this morning. I'm in. He's willing to host one live feed. Dark Road Run will be in. And the question is, will the big boys like Harry Campbell and Dustin, will they be in on this? Are they willing to put their name out there and help organize the largest national and international online strike ever? No company has done this. No one has undertaken it on such a magnitude. I have directed my team under Professor Brian Olson, build me the website in 2 weeks, right? Have the person, allow the person to land on that page, and it looks like it's going to be gigalliance.org, gigalliance.org, or thegigalliance.com. That will kick to gigalliance.org, and there we will rally under one umbrella. Not like Mobile Workers United, one island, rideshare drivers united, one island, gig workers, no, but a worldwide umbrella, a consolidation of power. I will be talking to law firms to sponsor this. I will be talking to companies to sponsor this. And my most powerful tool, ladies and gentlemen, is knowing how to work with newspaper editors worldwide. That I have done. So you could have the Frankfurter Allgemeine in Germany, Die Antwoord in Holland, Pravda in Moscow, Le Figaro in Paris, France, Miami Herald, LA Times, Chicago Times, LA Times, L'Opinion, all of these newspapers, right? All of these newspapers, I have them. I have all of the emails, right? I have over 300,000, not making this shit up, over 297,000 contacts, right? I buy this database, right? And these people, obviously I cannot do everything on my own, but these people will be informed on this date and on this time. We are going to organize the largest ever online strike. How can people participate? Well, you could step forward. I'm going to put my email underneath the video and say, hey, I would like to host a Zoom meeting on that date, on that time, in Denver, in Austin, in San Antonio. I want individuals to step forward. I will host that in Houston, Texas under Facebook. So the website will show all the cities, whether it's Rio de Janeiro, whether it's my friends in Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, or Johannesburg, South Africa. I know many people who drive have gig jobs, but they will be hosting Zoom meetings, 100 people strong, Facebook live feeds, unlimited, YouTube unlimited, right? And we are going to rally the press worldwide, not just selectively like these companies did here in California, hoping maybe that the New York Times would cover it, maybe hoping that the Chicago Times would cover it. No, we're going to get all of these international newspapers worldwide and alert them that we, the people, we, the gig workers, we, the essential people during the COVID, are being treated like shit, right? So companies like Lyft come out and think that they're going to con us essential workers, for example, with a priority mode, which is truly a poverty mode. If you don't accept this priority mode, you will get less trips, gun against the head. If you do accept this priority mode, understand you will be driving more and earning 10% less. And all of this during COVID-19 worldwide, all of this during the pandemic. We will stand up. It is the easiest press release to write. I've already made the call to Andrew Carmen, Australian friend, brilliant writer. He's written all of my press releases over the last 20 years. And I said, the ingredients are easy. One day, one time, worldwide strike on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. Now, the courageous people that step forward, hey, I step forward in Salt Lake City. I step forward in Las Vegas. Obviously, we'll put your link in the website, and then people on that day and time can join that Zoom meeting, that online strike. The press can verify it, that it's all set up. I cannot set up 900 Zoom meetings. I will host LA. I will host LA on my YouTube channel, right? But you have West St. Paul, you have Minneapolis in the house, you have Philly in the house, you have all of these courageous people working as essential workers that can facilitate the largest strike in the world. And now it's easy in a Zoom meeting. I don't know if you've ever created a Zoom meeting, if you've ever participated in a Zoom meeting, but whenever you have 100 little faces there, right? And I'm holding up my banner, symbolic for maybe a banner that you would be walking on the picket line. You don't have to walk in the snow. You don't have to go outside. No, you have your message. Hey, this is Jack or Edward from Minneapolis. Pay up, pay me more. All of these people, whatever you want to write, as angry as you want to get, as pissed off as you want to get. But the goal is to get a few 100,000 gig workers worldwide online and organize the world's largest strike. I know I can do that. Why can I do that? I have a team who's willing to support me. I have people out there that are just as upset as I am. I got Darius Moore in Dallas, Texas, right? Probably not happy with the money he's receiving right now in 2021, 2020, right? Probably very, very different to what you were earning in 2019. And the commonality here, ladies and gentlemen, is that these people at the top, and I quote Dara Khosrowshahi from 2 weeks ago in an interview with the New York Times, and the New York Times interviewer, the lady, said, that is shameful how you think. He said that the humans will be in pain and sacrifice. She asks him, do you care? No. I answer to the investors. John Zimmer answers to the investors. Well, I tell you what now, Dara K., I'm going to make you a personal promise from the rideshare, Professor Torsten Kunert. I'm going to attach my name to it. I'm going to make a personal promise to you, John Zimmer. I'm going to make a personal promise to you, Tony Zhu, Amur Vameta, and all of those CEOs of those gig companies. You forgot one thing. You forgot that we, the gig workers, we, the essential people, did all the work and carried you through 2020 and 2021. And you are willing to throw us under the bus for your investors, pay us less. I have news for you, buddies, because I am coming for your asses, right? And this is just, I think this is a brilliant idea. I hate to say it, but I'm going to tap myself on the shoulder, right? Because how am I going to get the word out worldwide? Only through online. I just want the press. I want the public to see so much exerted pressure on these CEOs. By name, we call them out, that you did not pay us during the essential times. You did not Step up and get the PPE in time. It was you, your executive salaries, and your investors. You didn't care a rat's ass or a damn about the Marys, the Casanubas, the Dariuses, the Nifty 50s, the Las Vegas Lives, the rideshare tricksters. You didn't care about these people. You cared about your own bank accounts. And we made sure the money went into your accounts, and we made sure your investors were kept happy during COVID-19. I have news for you, executives, right? You faced lawsuits, sure, and you have your army of lawyers that deals with them. You have never, ever experienced the wrath that's coming your way, media-wise and social media-wise, because there will be a 40-minute pitch. Remember, we have 40 minutes free on Zoom, and we are going to have these ambassadors in every city read the script. And we're going to have those scripts translated into Polish, into Russian, into German, into Dutch, into Japanese, into Indian, into every language, right? I know we can reach them from here. I can make a couple of calls to YouTubers. I'm part of probably 30 Facebook group pages. I can reach out to them. I make one call to Hector, who has 9,500 people in a Facebook group, and he will be on board with a Los Angeles live feed. I can reach out to friends in San Francisco, in Salt Lake City, in New York. I can make a phone call or an email to Dustin is driving, Dark Road Run, Rideshare Trickster is honoring us with his presence. He said, I'm in, right? So this is going to be a mammoth collective effort. How can we help out? Okay, there's a long list of press releases. Maybe every person send me your email, right? Or sign up on the website that we're going to be launching. Hey, I want to participate. I can send out emails, maybe 10, 15, 20 emails to editors, right? I can facilitate a Zoom call in Salt Lake City. I can facilitate a Facebook Live in Houston. I can facilitate a YouTube in Parsippany, New Jersey, right? But the bottom line is, all of those cities, thank you, Rideshare Trickster, all of those cities, all of those links, all of those Zoom meetings that people can attend will all be under one website. Now, that website was registered today, right? It was registered today. And the instructions are Brian Olson, my brother, business partner for 20 years, put this thing together in record time, and we will pick a date. gigalliance.org. That's it. We are going to form the largest worldwide alliance of gig workers. All of these gig companies. So when I have the name, the email, the data, we can rally. We can get to people. Hey, we need you to organize there. We need you to organize on the East Coast, right? We can talk to companies and say, here, we have a massive database of 300, 400, 500,000, maybe 1 million gig workers. Offer them true rewards and incentives. Give them discounts to your hotels. Give gig workers discounts to your, give discounts to your airlines. Give discounts to your restaurants, right? That we have a big gig alliance. We'd love to assist you, corporate America, but we would also appreciate true rewards. True rewards, not the shit that Dara and John Zimmer are serving on your plate. So we build that all in on this portal, right? But the portal is about one date, one time, all of the people. Because I see the weakness in these fractions when it's Rideshare Drivers United, Gig Workers Rising, Mobile Alliance, individually little islands, Strong Island in San Francisco, Strong Island in Orange County, but there is no umbrella. There's no unification of millions and millions of people. Now, this is not an easy task. If you told me, okay, put this together in a month, it cannot be done. It could possibly be done in 2 months. It'll definitely be done in 3 months. Maybe we shoot for a day. Your input, what day do you think is the best day to launch this, right? And then I will leave my email. Obviously I'll leave it here. Most of the people have it. And you know what? I want to participate. I am not looking for monies, ladies and gentlemen, not looking for money, right? What I'm looking for is participation and people that stand up, that are collectively willing to stand up worldwide for their rights. So we have collective bargaining power, right? Now, I will also speak to 3 or 4 law firms, to head attorneys that I know. I want them to help build a legal portal. Any new driver signing up, show them how to opt out. Because if you do not opt out of arbitration, they will screw you one day, right? So we will educate on this portal. We will show people how to file small claims court cases if they want to represent themselves in pro persona, which means in Latin, representing yourself. I want all the links to these documents for every single state, whether it's Alabama, right? Whether it's Texas. I want the forms on there so people know if and when they get bullied by these assholes, they know how to fight back, right? Just free information, free educational information, all under the umbrella of a united worldwide gig alliance. All cities, all countries, all languages. We don't discriminate. We're not going to ask, hey, what religion do you have? What language do you speak? No, the question I ask, are you a gig worker? Are you on board? Do you want to be part of the alliance, right? So we don't have like a couple of fractions in California, no, but we have a USA-wide alliance which works with Canadians, which works with the Japanese, which works with the Germans, which works with the Portuguese, which works with the people in Turkey or in India. Doesn't matter. I don't ask any questions. I just want collective power, and I want your newspaper. Even if you drive in Morocco, I have no idea. Is there rideshare in Morocco? Maybe there is. I know it's in Cape Town, South Africa, and I know South Africans very, very well. They will fight, and they will help me get it into the newspapers, the Star newspaper, the Citizen newspaper, the Report, the Sowetan in South Africa. Those are 4 big newspapers. We are going to be everywhere. Everyone is going to be talking about us. As Halil Kuroglu says in German, right? My guess is you're from Turkey, maybe from Istanbul or Antalya, and you live in Germany. And he says, Arschlöcher zahlen den Preis. He is on the money, means the arseholes will pay the price. Thank you, Halil. I love you, brother. So you can see how people step forward, right? We will have these things translated, these press releases, right? This has never, ever been done before. In fact, we could set a world record. We could collectively set a world record for the largest strike worldwide, because the fact is, there are millions and millions and millions and millions of us strong. We just have to be able to reach them. If you have a friend in Lisbon, Portugal, that does rideshare, you got to share the news. I have friends in South Africa, in Australia, New Zealand. I share the news. I have an alliance that I work with in the Netherlands and Germany, also subscribers of mine. I share the news. I need your help. You need to all come together on this day as an alliance. And we are going to shake the fucking foundation in North California, right? Because a lot of these pricks that treat us like dogs during these essential times, they're sitting up there on their fat, rich asses in North California. And my friends, you have never felt an earthquake like this before. So get ready, Dara. Get ready, Tony. Get ready, John, because we are going to send ripples through North California and other headquarters worldwide, wherever you are. If you are not treating your essential workers with essential pay and paying them as you should, and I'm specifically now this week talking to John Zimmer and Logan Green, right? You think you are smart enough to con these people and call this priority mode and pay them 10% less? That's what triggered me last night. And I apologize for raging. I was effing angry, my friends. I was angry because I read 3 letters that day of people that basically almost surrendered. I said, don't surrender, please. Look for option B, C, D. These guys were at wit's end. At wit's end. That's what triggered me last night. And that was good that it triggered me, because I said, you know what? Not just not just my team, but we worldwide as an alliance can do this. I know we can, right? I know we can, and we will. So yes, coordinating the website, coordinating all of these individuals in these cities that you will see on the website. Does anybody want to step up and say, hey, I will host the Zoom meeting in Vegas. I will host the Zoom meeting in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I will host the Zoom meeting in St. George, Utah, right? Because the fact is, there are gig workers everywhere. There's an Amazon Flex worker working right now. There's an Uber driver on the roads right now. They're everywhere. And they're being treated like crap. And these people think they can get away with it, right? So what do we achieve? We achieve for the very first time collective power. So if we need to rally, if we need the press, if we need people in specific cities, we've got go-to people. Not these fractured alliances, but a worldwide alliance, right? We have the press contacts. I bring that to the table. I will ask in the next few weeks, as you see the website go up, who wants to set that Zoom call in that city on that date and that time. For example, hey, I, Scott Tucker, want to do this in Larry Scott. Appreciate you, buddy. How can we get on board of directors at Lyft and Uber? Keep up the good work. How can we get on board? Well, I guess the only way you would have some say is if one collectively bought shares and used that as collective bargaining power. You could have representation at the table, but you will never be on the board of directors, especially after the way this Proposition 22 is set up, right? They want to quiet the voice. What we're going to do is we're going to amplify the voice. They don't want any union or any uprising, and I'm not here to form a union. This is not a union. This is an alliance. This is a voice. This is a movement that we are starting, right? And on that day, all of the representatives from all the cities will read out that 40-minute credo to these individuals, calling out their names, right? Calling upon all the brothers and sisters in the gig world to do a combined tweet with specific hashtags, with specific posts. So we flood the airwaves, we flood the www, we flood social media and say, enough is enough. You will treat us as essential workers, right? And this was the first big worldwide warning. After this, we're coming for you. I know we can do this. And I tell you, if we have all the names, all the emails of the people that want to be part of this alliance, right? We can send lobbyists. I have their names. I have the names of the lobbyists from Uber and Lyft. We can send them, hey, we're warning you. If you are working with this candidate, with this senator, with this mayor, right? I get all the names. It's out there in the press releases every single day. We will use this list and come after you. We will tweet his ass out. We will make sure he doesn't get another 4 years. You can only do that, my friends, with collective bargaining power, with a collective voice. They have overthrown governments thanks to social media. The Ukraine was overthrown through social media. Africa, certain countries were overthrown thanks to social media. You don't think we have the power to take on these guys? Never mind their $42 million salaries. That won't matter. We will have the collective voice. It has never, ever been done in an organized fashion. We will rally, we will organize, and we will form the umbrella. Gig Alliance, it's very, very easy. I tried to get gigalliance.com, try to register, it was taken. But this is an organization. So I'm happy with gigalliance.org, right? I also went out and registered the Gig Alliance. That will obviously default to gigalliance.org because we are an organization, a voice. worldwide that will take these guys on. We're going to humiliate them, my friends. We're going to humiliate them, right? People need to understand that when they join these companies, the first thing that they do is opt out of arbitration. So if something should arise in the future, 2-3 years down the line, you have true legal representation and you get your rewards. You get your money, right? What they're doing to us here is they are throwing us into a washing machine. They are guiding us into a hamster wheel and trying to make us dependent on their algorithms, on their rules, on their conditions, on their payment terms. We say no. It's very, very simple. The battle of the survivor says sold by mic numbers equal to power, power equals to respect. I like that. Let's get that power back so we get the respect. And if need be, we can rally people in a heartbeat, not just in Texas, not just in Florida, not just in California, but worldwide. So if you take a moment and say, who do you know? Who does Rashim Allen know in another city, in another country, hopefully, that could facilitate a Zoom meeting, that could facilitate a Facebook Live meeting, that could facilitate a YouTube Live meeting? And I'm also going to call on you, Harry Campbell. I regard you as a friend. Dustin, I regard you as a friend. On this date, on this time, I want you symbolically to host your Zoom meeting with 100 people. Whoever comes into your room, you'll fill that room up, and those represent true people that are participating in the world's largest strike. The media will talk about it. The media will see that on these websites who is signed up, how many thousands and thousands and tens of thousands, hopefully hundreds of thousands strong we have. How many voices are willing to participate on this day, right? I know we can do it. So we have the platforms, we have the means. They don't cost us anything. Zoom doesn't cost us anything. Facebook doesn't cost us anything. YouTube doesn't cost us anything. We have the platforms. We have the people. Now we have to reach the people, and now we have to get organized, right? So also building the largest database of gig workers worldwide. Cannot be done overnight, cannot be done in a month, but I feel pretty comfortable we can pull this off in 60 days. My instructions were very clear to my team. Build it. And we had a brainstorming session. What do we want in there? What information? What must this achieve? Right? What is our objective? What is our goal? Our goal is to stop this apparatus, is to stop this machine that is manipulating people and destroying their lives. We're coming for you. We're coming for you, Dara. We're coming for you, Logan Green. We're coming for you, Tony Zhu. We're coming for you, Apurva Mehta. I wonder what your investors have to say now. Because all you've done is listen to them. You've listened to the soft banks. You've listened to the venture capitalists. You have never, ever paid respect, included the gig world. Those who built you, those who made you millionaires and billionaires, you have never respected them. We will teach you. We will teach you how to respect. That's my goal. It's not difficult. It just takes a vision, dedication, ambition, and a team and an army, and we'll put this in place. Payman Ali, I love you, bro. Be careful. This seems to be turning into the bad drivers club. No, Payman, you look for the worst. You look for the worst meaning in something, right? I've seen that it repeats itself in your arguments. I don't go for the negatives. I go for what we can positively achieve. And sometimes that means you have to, right, stand up and fight. Doesn't make you a bad driver, doesn't make you a bad YouTuber, doesn't make you a bad organizer, right? If you do not get the people together to achieve that goal, that change, that positive change will never happen, right? So, and you know what? I'll use the word respect because I respect you tremendously, Payman, as an individual. You're a smart character. But every now and again, you go dark on me. I'm not coming in here as Darth Vader, my friends, right? I know who the Darth Vaders are, right? I can name one. Darakoshishawi, right? What I'm saying is, enough is enough. That doesn't make me a bad driver. Organizing an alliance doesn't make you a bad driver. Building a worldwide force doesn't make you a bad driver. You got to ask yourself, what will create change? Change will not come from one little island called Mobile Workers Alliance. Change will not come from one little island called Gig Workers Rising. Change will not come from Rideshare Drivers United. Change will come from everyone being on the same level, the same respect, standing for the same thing. That if I could be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, last name, I am an essential worker during this critical, dangerous time, and I've been treated like trash. Yes, I've been treated like the bad driver, but I'm not a bad driver. I am the person that helps your company survive. You can't put that label on yourself, Payman, right? You can't put that label on yourself. The rules of trade and commerce are ancient. Yes, they are. But back in the day, if you go back 300 or 400 years ago, and if you go back 200 years ago, the rules of trade and commerce pretty much uniform and ancient, but they were never, ever, ever exposed to social media power. You'd have to send your horse or your carriage or your pigeon with a letter, hoping that that message arrived, right? Delayed transport. Today, instant gratification, instant unification, instant action. So I will argue with you that the rules of trade and commerce can be broken up, can be amended, can be changed to something positive, right? Payman Ali going dark on me again. He says, sticking a gun to people to get money is a crime, right? From which perspective are you looking at it? Are you looking at gig? Are you looking at gig workers holding a gun to their head and say, hey, we need the money? Is that what you call a crime? Or are you looking at the existing crime of the gig companies holding the guns on the gig workers and saying, you will work for these conditions, otherwise we will kick you out. We will not make you a priority and we will pay you less. So I ask you, Payman, which way is the gun pointing? Tell me. Only you can educate me. I know, right? I know which way the gun is pointing. And you say, and they may be breaking some of those rules, but two wrongs have never made a right. We are not bringing two wrongs. We are bringing one right to the table, right? And if they have made multiple wrongs, doesn't mean they have made it right. They will keep on making those wrongs. But as long as you bend over, as long as you keep on taking that abuse, you will always be the abused, and you will always allow an abuser, right, to manipulate you, bully you, control you. So you have a choice, Payman Ali. You have a choice. As Scott Tucker says, the crime is the gig companies stealing from us. If I can elaborate on that, the crime is the gig companies exploiting workers. The crime is the gig companies not treating workers as essential workers. The crime is the gig companies creating the race to the bottom. How much can they extract out of you, the individual. Roy Watkiss is in the house. Viva Las Vegas is in the house. I would need Roy. I would need Scott to facilitate a Zoom meeting on a specific date, on a specific time in the near future, and be the pilot, be the captain of that room, and address the gig companies. As Dan says, complaining without doing or offering alternative is self-defeating energy, wasted and resources. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know when I'm talking to someone with an optimistic, upbeat spirit that is willing to try something out. I've got to know all of these people in the stream. I know if the DNA is there of a Viking or a warrior, of someone, of a coward, and someone that gives up and walks away. Never ever will I call Payman Ali a coward or somebody that would walk away. I have too much respect. But yesterday, for example, I had an individual called Brandon. Somebody even joked and says, never be a Brandon in that live stream. No, those are the people I don't need, right? Those are the people we do not need on our side. The people say cannot be done, will not be done, won't achieve anything, right? That you have delayed, you didn't go on time, so they don't pay you the cancellation fee. Who's wrong and right here, sir? Sorry, I'm not following that conversation, but maybe you can elaborate. Adam Christopher says, the prof knows what he's talking about for real. No, I appreciate you saying that, Adam, but like Adam, I'm a human. And if I'm working, if I'm putting the energy into a company, I expect to get something out. It's not a one-way street. Adam is not a slave to some company that says, I will just do whatever you tell me to do. My name is Adam. No, that's not who Adam is. That's not who Torsten is. That's not who Payman is. That's not who Roy is, right? We say, hey, input equals output. If we do for you, you do for us. That formula, unfortunately, they don't understand. As Dara Khosrowshahi 2 weeks ago said, we do this for the investor. There will be a lot of pain for the humans. The New York Times editor asked him, do you care? No, I don't care. And she said to Dara, shame on you, because at New York Times, that is not how we work. And he says, oh, I'm sure that's how you work at the New York Times. And she said, no, that's not. She's basically saying, we have humans. We have humanity at the New York Times, right? And I'm not singling out New York Times saying, hey, that is the best newspaper in the world. No, at all. It's how the people get treated at the New York Times, how the journalists get treated, right? How there's respect. Chief editor, etc. There's respect. There is zero respect saying, oh, I have 5 million gig workers and they will do as I tell them. The king of Uber, Dara Khosrowshahi. And John, you will go out, peasant, and you will work more and you will earn less. Fuck you. Fuck you. We will make that message loud and clear in about 60 to 90 days' time, on a given date, on a given time. So I am now at the point where I'm repeating myself. I have said what has to be done, what we will do, that we will form a worldwide gig alliance, and the wheels will be set in motion, right? And the one thing I know you can always rely on, there's always a voice in the media, there's always a reporter, there's always a journalist who's interested in your story. Tell us the story. Why are you upset? What are they doing to you? Why did this happen? How did this alliance come about? How did you choose this date? Why did you all decide to join forces? I want to write about this. That person's always there. They're waiting. They're waiting for the next story. We will deliver that story to them. Yes, Scott, a true gig alliance is needed. There are little alliances and they're great. And I will call upon those and say, you know what? Come on board. Join our big alliance, right? Because collecting names, collecting emails, and having people, real people, facilitate these live streams or Zoom meetings, it's not going to cost you anything. It's just going to say, hey, I am willing from St. Paul, Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Big Island, Hawaii. I'm willing to facilitate a Zoom meeting or a Facebook live call for 40 minutes on that day. It's all symbolic. We're not going out there and on the picket line. No, we're going to have our little signs ready, right? We'll have our signs ready. There you are in the Zoom meeting. Whatever you want to write there, whatever you want to fill out on this page, whatever message you want to send to Dara, those are the pictures that I want to see in the media on the next day. I want to see screenshots. Largest gig strike in the world and pictures. And there's a room of 100 people holding up their whatever message they want to send to that gig executive. I work for Instacart. Shame for paying me $50 for 3,000 batches. Allow the people to be heard. I drive in Los Angeles and now I'm getting 30 cents a mile. Shame on your company. Allow that individual express whatever he wants to put on that canvas, on that day, on that time, because the press will be taking screenshots and will be writing about the event before and after. It's not just a one-day press affair. It's the press announcing this big historic event and then the press reporting, oh my God, there were 300,000 people strong. You think you can't do it? When you commit to it, you can do it, right? When I used to organize concert, I needed 30,000 tickets sold. And you have to work on it because those 30,000 people don't come into your venue because they had a dream. No, because they saw the message. Battle of Survivors says, can you advise me to a good attorney? I have photos of multiple conversations from Lyft representative telling me my arrival time and accepted right time completely different. So, firstly, what you need to do, and I'm going to go slightly, Halil says, don't forget yellow vests. They have proved to work. I love that. That's a great line. So my answer to you there is, those incidences, those wrongdoings, what type of money, what did it cost you? What type of time did it cost you? I don't think that's difficult to prove, right? You have the argument. Now, if that equates to a few $1,000s, you're not necessarily going to get an attorney to maybe try and push this to arbitration or to a superior court. But what you can do is if you build the evidence, you can go and represent yourself up to $10,000. Do you believe you lost a maximum of $10,000? And I would highly, highly advise Mike to go to small claims court, because the many people that I've advised who've gone to small claims court have come back with $900, $1,500, $600. One guy was fighting over $300. He got it. You got to go in there, show the evidence and say, Your Honor, this is what the company did to me. This is how they wronged me. This is how much money they took away from me. I want those damages. And usually there is some sort of like outside offer that they will make you to make it go away, or they'll meet with you in the hallway and make you an offer maybe for 1/3 or 1/2. Depending how strong your case is and how good your evidence is, you can win that. You can get the entire amount. But if you don't stand up for yourself, nothing ain't going to happen. Indy says, I have screenshots of Lyft blatantly not caring about a passenger's disregard for mask rules. They truly don't give a squat about drivers before or during this pandemic. Right, so true, right? So they go out there and say, hey, we're going to implement these rules. We're going to get a lot of press out of this. We're going to show the rider, we're going to show the driver that we are complying. We're going to show the government that we are complying so that they would regard us as essential workers. We are complying, we are complying, we are complying. Meanwhile, they're allowing that to go through. And all you can do is take the evidence to Twitter or bring that evidence on this strike day that we're organizing and say, you know what? You're not playing by the rules, right? You are fooling governments. You are fooling mayors and governors of cities saying that you are complying because you are not. And I have the proof, right? So it depends how much you want to stand up for yourself, Indy. Adam says, Scott, I applied for both today, but I realize on my tax return for 2019, I reported a loss of 18,000. So I guess that means I won't qualify for a PPP. That's an interesting one. I need to look into that. Dan says, participate as you have suggestions that are feasibly possible of bringing them into real world solutions. First, you need a voice. Second, you need to be heard. Thank you for saying that, right? You have a voice. As Dan says, you can express yourself and use that voice. And if you have that voice, you will be heard, right? Make yourself, announce yourself, right? So that they listen. And that could be as easy as saying, hey, I am going to facilitate a Zoom call for 100 people on that day and on that time. And you, the person, the captain of that room, you are reading out the message, and there will be a collective, very targeted message to the public, to all the people using the apps, that we are not being treated like humans. We are not receiving the essential pay, the danger pay. No, instead we're being treated like dogs. Instead, these fat cats think that they can, divert those monies into their investors and their accounts and leave the people behind. I have news for you. I have news for the Darras and Johns. I think you got to light a fire under my ass first. Yesterday, I was pissed. If you want to see the live stream yesterday, I was pissed. And it came right on the heels of a letter that I wrote, somebody that I knew. Halil, love you, brother. He says, I got to go. It's already 2:50 a.m. Where are you? What city? Mach's gut. Tschüss, Junge. Ich schreibe dir oder du hast mein E-Mail, wir werden miteinander sprechen und dann werden wir irgendwas an diesem Tag möchte ich dich an Bord haben, Halil. Dankeschön. What city is Halil in? Yeah, I mean, Slick Nick says, I agree that the Lyft priority mode is a big joke. And that is sort of one of the things that triggered me, How we react to the issue is the issue. Basic psychology. How you react to the issue is the issue. I reacted with anger. So I realized, hey, I'm reacting to the issue, but I am the issue. Why am I triggered? Why am I triggered? Because I build a following. I go out as a voice, right? And you try to your very best to make change. You hope that people have your back and march with you towards the change, right? And I realized yesterday that the company like Lyft, once again, for the 10th, for the 100th time, is trying to do a cheap con, a cheap bait and switch, right? That triggered me. So how I reacted to the issue was my issue. I was triggered by that, right? Because in the past, I have been baited and switched by these companies several times. Lost a lot of money. And then along comes this priority mode telling the people, I said to Payman, more or less like holding the gun to all the drivers, if you do not agree to these conditions, and they're rolling this out in multiple cities, right? It's now in probably more than 10 cities and growing. If you do not agree to these conditions, that's why I said to Payman, gun against the gig worker's head, we will punish you. We give you less trips. So if you agree, we will give you more trips. So you need to drive more, higher maintenance costs, higher gasoline costs, higher wear and tear. And by the way, you get 10% less. Now, payment, if you think that is right, please let me know. Payment says, yes, there's a lot of anger, but don't succumb to the hate and anger. So, Payment, what are you going to organize on the 15th of April, 2021? How are you going to make this happen? I'll wait for a proposal. Because with Payment saying, let's send them hearts, let's send them little chocolates, let's love them, right? And let's keep on bending over for the soap so they can take us from behind. Sorry, Payment, we're not on the same page, buddy. We're not the same DNA, right? I know that it doesn't have to be hate and anger. It could be upset that your family is hurting, that you're working your ass off and putting in more hours and it's affecting your health, right? That will drive change. Doesn't have to be hate or anger. That's how you want to package it. Go to the dark side and wear your Darth Vader suit, Payment, by all means, right? As a Payment, organizing a group singing event, sure. If you have Beyonce and Perry on board and a couple of big bands, yeah, maybe you could go and sing to Uber and Lyft. Hey, we ask you to pay us some more money. We want to be treated equally. And here we have the Foo Fighters drumming away. And we have Alanis Morissette. Pay us the money. We love you, Uber. But we want to see more cash. Fuck that, dude. Where's that going to get you? Where is that going to get you? So your hometown is Sugut Bilecik. Is that in, that's by Ankara. Beautiful. That's in Turkey. Beautiful country. Thank you for participating. So I'm waiting, Payment. You put a good proposal on my table that incorporates Africa, Europe, Canada, South America, North America. You put a nice proposal on and I will listen to you. How do we get to all of the people? And how do we motivate them to exercise their collective voice? How does Payment engage all media worldwide? How does Payment engage the press, right? What does your press release look like? Oh, on the 15th of April, 2020, we're going to have a worldwide singing event. You know what the press is going to say to you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Are you a band? Are you trying to create that global aid for Africa? What are you doing? You have to be together. You have to be like a Bob Geldof, right? You got to get the U2s, the Bonos, and all of these people on a stage. So everybody wants to broadcast you. Then I say, hey, let's go for it, singing. If you have those type of contacts, Payment, pull them. Pull those resources and pull that. Let's make a big press release that you have all of these musicians on board. I'm for that. But you, as an individual, cannot pull that off, right? We are the world. We are the rideshare people. We ask you to treat us better today. Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work, my brother. I can tell you that. Soon the Wellerman come to bring us coffee, tea, and rum. I had that this morning. I don't need the Wellerman to bring it. I can make that myself. I'm just asking you, how do you get all of these countries, 900 cities on board, and you can say to the press, I have something worthy that you need to write about. What comes to me, and that's not guided from hate or anger, Payment, what comes to me is that there has never been a worldwide organized online strike. Never. Yeah, we've had people at LAX and LA, 200-300 people on the picket line. Yes, they got a lot of exposure in the La Opinion, the Argonaut, the LA Times. Yes. But what happened on a grand scale? What brought everyone together under one umbrella worldwide, ready to brawl? There are lots of sea shanties we can sing. Bring them, brother. If you can get the world to sing sea shanties, you're a genius. You're a genius. Online strike, city by city by city by city, newspaper by newspaper by newspaper. Let them put the screenshots out there, all the screenshots, because they can go and gather all the information on one website, right? They can see all the cities participating, right? They can go in and take 500 screenshots if they want to. Now, again, we cannot do this overnight. We cannot do this in 1 month. We can do this in 2 to 3 months. I ask you, pick a date, and let me know who, in which city are you, and do you want to participate and facilitate a Zoom meeting, a Facebook Live meeting, where the people can come in. Hey, I will put the link on the website. My name is Jack. I'm from Salt Lake City. I have a Facebook following. I will be there on that date and that time. My name is Randolph. My name is Bettina. I live in South Carolina. I will facilitate a Zoom meeting. I work for Lyft. I work for Shipped. I work for Amazon Flex. I'm in San Antonio. I can facilitate a Zoom meeting. I live in Cape Town, South Africa. I work for Uber. I can facilitate a Zoom meeting. All of those links will show up on the website. We will direct the press to those links. If you think it's a shit idea, I'm open for criticism. Can't hurt me, right? If you have a better suggestion, I will listen to you. I will listen to Payman's proposal on how we're going to make this a worldwide singing event, right? And again, I know I can't sing. So am I going to go out there and try and sing or participate in a choir, maybe? Show me how it's done, Payman. I will listen. So you have a commitment. San Luis, Missouri, count me in. You got a guy, count me in. Thank you. I know who I'm dealing with. I know I can count him in. Coach John says they are supposed to give us our back pay. Indeed, they owe you back pay. In fact, if you think of it, since the pandemic started, since you have been an essential worker, you should be getting some form of essential back pay, right? No, Payman, the Battle of the Survivors sold by Mike says, who is Payman? Payman's a great guy. I have personally met with Payman Ali in Las Vegas. Payman Ali has personally driven out from Las Vegas and joined our party in Long Beach. The guy is solid. Love the guy. I respect him. He knows that. I just sometimes, and as friends, we're allowed to do that. We're allowed to bang heads, right? Just like doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat. Somehow you're going to have to work together. Somehow you're going to have to start respecting each other. Somehow you're going to have to start listening to each other, right? Because divided, you shall fall. Divided, they will conquer us. But if we form an alliance with one voice, it will be very strong. It will be very awesome. Jay Morris just came in and says, hey, Prof, how's it hanging? What do I miss? I would say go back and watch the video and let me know what city you're in and are you able to facilitate a Zoom meeting with 100 gig drivers? That would be my direct question to you. You might say, well, what's that all about? You will find out if you go back to the beginning of the video. Adam Christopher says, I don't know about that, Professor. LOL, it seems the Republicans don't want to work with Democrats. Look, Republicans don't want to work with Democrats. Democrats don't want to work with Republicans. I'm not saying you're wrong, Adam. You're right. To a very large degree, they don't want to work with each other. There's so much division already. But I still hold out hope, that over 4 or 8 years, you can correct the ship, right? Because the ship has definitely sailed off into some really serious waters, right? Stormy waters. I hope we can correct that navigation system a little bit. Slick Nick says, Image, the final boss in Doom 2, has John Romero's head replaced with Dara Kay's head. Interesting. So, hey, Payman, just heads up, they're going to use you and abuse you and toss you out the door once they're done with your stick. You're now starting to really piss me off. Mike sounds upset. I don't know what triggered Mike, but I know he'll get Payman Ali on board. I know he'll be on board, right? Yeah, and you're right. We're not concentrating on the left wing and the right wing. That's not what this live feed is about today. This live feed, I will say it very, very, I'll put it in the most simple fashion for you. This live feed is about forming the largest gig alliance under the sun, period. Not a fractured island, not an island over here, but everyone. And we welcome every type of driver. We welcome every type of gig worker, because if we have the numbers, they will take us seriously. If we have the numbers and we can strike worldwide, the press will be impressed, right? The press will be impressed what we can pull off together as an alliance. Wolf and I says, hello to all. This new program they're trying to pass through other cities is not a slap in the face. It's basically a camera overhead. I drove through the pandemic just like everybody else. Now, I like the way you wrote that. In a nutshell, what are you trying to tell gig workers when you say it's basically a camera overhead? I mean, or do you feel like somebody is watching you? Do you feel like somebody is controlling you? Use your words. I mean, I'm interested to find out, Wolf and I's, because this is today, this is our house Mondays. It's your platform. So you're entitled to share. I'm just trying to understand you better. Hammer to the head, right? So if you could, and you don't have to put that all in one message, because I know that YouTube sort of like limits you to a certain amount of characters. Try and sort of like explain that in 2 paragraphs. I'm more than willing to read it out, my friend. Absolutely. Jay Morris says, just wanted to stop in and say hello. Getting ready for the snow here in Vegas. Enjoy the snow. We had a little bit of a little bit of a hailstorm about 2 hours ago. Short, quick 5-minute hailstorm. And then, believe it or not, in Malibu, California, sort of like surfing paradise, where I took the kids 2 weeks ago, 75 degrees. It was snowing in Malibu last night. So something's going on. Oh, I like that. I like how you're thinking, Mike. It says, how about on Valentine's Day? Now that, my friend, is you picked a brilliant day. It's too soon, right? Unfortunately, it's too soon. Now, if Valentine's Day was 60 to 90 days out, yeah, we'll show them the love on Valentine's Day. But this cannot be pulled off by February the 14th? Cannot be done. I'm not trying to shoot your idea down. I love the fact that you presented a date, because nobody has said, okay, let's do it on this and this day. That was a fantastic, fantastic idea, right? And waiting to Valentine's Day 2022 would be too long. Wolf and I says, I picked up people that needed to get to work where there's no driver's arrest, my health, my life, and this new crap they're trying to push. The anger I cannot express. Okay, so that I can relate to. So you're out there, correct me if I'm wrong, correct me, I'm trying to repeat, I'm trying to give your voice a voice. You basically say, I'm out there, I'm helping people get to work, I'm helping doctors and nurses get to the hospital, I'm helping people get from A to B, and they are not treating me as an essential worker, they're treating me like a piece of crap. They're not giving me the pay I deserve. In fact, quite the opposite. They're cutting my pay even more. If I summed it up correctly, just say yes. If I did not represent you correctly, just say no. April 1st could definitely work. But let's look at it from a psychological point. April 1st is Fool's Day. And what you're trying to say is that this is not an April's Fool joke, my friends. This is the real deal, right? Is that your message there? I like it. I like it a lot, right? We're not here to fool you. We mean business, right? Powerful. Is that where you're going with the 1st of April Archetype Gamer? Help me, because I like the direction you're going. I really do. Payman is an undercover spy, and Uber and Lyft, on top of that, he's underpaid, he's getting ripped off, and he doesn't even know it. He's not a spy. He doesn't spy for Uber or Lyft. He's a hardworking guy. He's smart. Maybe upset with the money, right? May or may not be driving. But again, I'm not going to speak on behalf of Payman. But what I will tell you, Mike, is that is not an Uber spy or a Lyft spy. He's the real deal. He's a hell of a nice guy. Rashim Allen says, I keep getting these Lyft messages offering me a bonus carrot when the path is lined with sticks. Very well said. I want to read that again. I keep getting these Lyft messages. I call them bait and switch messages, right? Asking or offering me a bonus carrot. Here it is. Can it bait you with this carrot? But as I found out, as I go down that path, I find out that it's filled with sticks. Can't get to that carrot like a rabbit. Instead, I hear you, Rashim. Abstract Echo Jimmy says, it just goes to show we're on the same page. The Archtime Gamer. Cool. Rideshare, Road Warrior, Rick is in the house. I don't even do Lyft because of the way that they treat their passengers and their drivers, only Uber right now. Okay, good. So Rick is standing up for himself. He's like, I don't like what they're doing here, and that's why I'm going over here, right? Jay Morris says, first of all, Adam Christopher, I am a lady. We're doing our best here with COVID. And I feel everyone is actually trying to do their parts. It could definitely be worse, but we're surviving. I appreciate you saying that, Jay. I appreciate you sharing that. It sounds like you, the people around you, are trying to do their very best and try to get through this like everyone is, right? I have a sort of a weird shirt that I have to share with you. See this fire here? Okay, now I've had surgery, so I've got another cast on, so it's not going to be that easy. 2020 is a dumpster fire. It's sort of like a comedy shirt. Adam has got a great sense of humor. I love it. And he says, my apologies, Jay Morris, total gentleman, offering you apology. He says, I'll take one of the Professor's South African puss clap in the face. There we go. There it is. And by the way, I wasn't going for your face. I missed it. I hit the wall. I would never slap you in the face unless your name is Dara Khosrowshahi or John Zimmer or Randall Heimovicki. Those guys, if I meet them face to face, they will feel the South African puss slap. But I like the fact that a gentleman apologizes to the lady. I hope the lady accepts it. Yes, all good, babe. See, Make love, not war. That's what we're about. Unity. Thank you for doing that, Jay. Thank you for doing that, Adam. Wolf and I says, to show that we are just important to the community like everyone else, we shouldn't push the side. You shouldn't push this aside, or we shouldn't push the side. Help me out. Help me out. Instead of a dumpster, it should be an outhouse. Exactly. And Roy Watkins has got the flames and the aliens. I like it. I would throw Derek Kay in the dumpster. I'll help you, dude. I think the two of us could pick him up together. Archtime Gamer says, I've been working DoorDash in Seattle. The city of Seattle and DoorDash agreed to pay an extra $2.50 order as hazard pay. Okay, good. That's like some positive news. And do you see the ripple effects of that? Has that equated to extra money per week, Archtime Gamer? And thank you for sharing. Scott Tucker says, for all of those Uber guys, we need a symbolic flush. Oh, you want me to do the flush? Okay. So, all right. I got to get beyond my leg. I think I can do this. I think I can pull this off. I can tell you, folks, having to go for a second surgery, it's like a mental. So let's use a little bit of symbolism here, right? I'm not going to pick up the crap with my hands. Would never do that. But if I want to green light Roy Watkins' message, because I don't know why YouTube blocked it. I'm going to green light that one, the poop emojis. If the Gig Alliance could represent this handle, right? And if this could represent the Darras, the gig companies, those sort of like alien creatures that treat us like crap, right? We say to you collectively as the Gig Alliance worldwide, your day is coming. There will be a day and a time we will drop you like shit in the toilet bowl, and we, the Alliance, collectively pull the handle. And for those few stubborn CEOs that try to reemerge, we'll flush you a second time, if need be. We'll flush you a third time, until we've made our case crystal clear. There we go. I appreciate you guys egging me on to do the flush. God bless all the drivers. Jay Morris, I agree with you. Exactly. Adam Christopher, thank you for saying that. He says, hey, Professor, did you see what happened to Dylan Hemmerich's Finance Hub channel? It got taken down. So there he is, spinning a lie, spinning falsehoods. I said this 2 weeks ago. You can go back and listen to my videos. I said he will pay a price for that. Because if you're peddling in the untruths, right? If you are spreading conspiracy theories, hurting your fellow man, you're not going anywhere. I am not surprised that YouTube took it down. So all of his work, all of his efforts, as I said, it's short term, right? The kid is an opportunist. He will hunt a buck and sacrifice his soul. He's young and he's learning. I said that. You can go back and watch my 2 or 3 videos. I said there will be a day of reckoning. The day of reckoning has come sooner than later for Dylan Hemmerich. So gone is that channel. Gone are the people that he conned in that channel with false hopes, with lies, with untruths. And yes, he made a little bit of money in those 4 to 8 weeks. But he's back to square one, and he's basically flushed his reputation down the shitter, down the flush hole, right down that toilet. Dylan Hemmerish has joined those gig CEOs and executives and is down now in the deeper sewage pipes with them. Because he didn't stand for anything. It was peddling lies and peddling untruths. And I'm glad he was taken down. I'm glad. Did you guys watch the Conor McGregor-Poirier fight? Who saw it? What did you think? Congrats to the guy that won. And I think that the arrogance of McGregor on that day cost him. I think he should have been a little bit more humble and a little bit more careful. Scott Tucker says, keep doing those runs at the airport. It will help the national lawsuit cases for you. And he's right on saying that. Cordell Calloway, MWA chapter with you. Love you. I appreciate you. I look forward working with the Mobile Workers Alliance. I look forward working with Gig Workers Rising. I look forward working with Rideshare Drivers United. Why? Because they've put in so many hours. They've put in so much work. They've put in blood, sweat, and tears. And they really have made a remarkable difference. They really, really have made a remarkable difference. And I salute them. I take my hat off to them because they showed us it can be done. I now, Cardell, just want to take it a step further. I want to create basically like MWA on steroids worldwide, if that makes sense, right? I know we can do this. Matthew Irvin, Uber's still screwing people out of money by holding up background checks. And thank you. You know, that is going to be a talking point on the national day, the national strike, right? Why are they holding up these background checks, right? Are they trying to retaliate? Are they taking revenge on specific drivers? Matthew's right. And that's not just happening isolated here or there. It's happening on a grand scale. They are literally holding you up in the pipeline and not letting you go through, not giving you access onto the platform. Why are they doing that? Right? I hope we have a whistleblower within Uber or Lyft that wants to come on the show. Be bold, be courageous. Tell us why. Darius McGregor is done. 100% correct. He's finished. He's done. The other guy, the Russian, if he would emerge, he wants to stop because he lost his father. But people will keep on respecting him and he will still remain the greatest. Conor McGregor, the loudmouth, is done. And I think his Irish supporters have noticed that. But what Matthew says is correct. Why is Uber holding up all those background checks? I would hope that law firms start looking into this as a form of a class action, because there are enough people that will step forward and say, hey, on paper, I'm legit, I'm not criminal, I don't have any criminal background. Something may have happened 30 years ago. Nobody's perfect. But they're not green-lighting me. They're keeping me there in the holding pattern. We need to find out what's going on. And I hope that if someone at Uber or Lyft that works there on the inside can tell us or is willing to say, hey, listen, I don't want to disclose my name. I want to remain anonymous. If I get a call from a 415 number and you can prove to me that you're calling from Uber or that you have an Uber email, right, and you want to give us the scoop why Uber is doing this, sign me up. I'm all ears. Darius Moore says, my account is still on hold. And many, 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 many people have been complaining about that same issue for weeks and weeks and weeks now. There's genuinely something going on. And knowing Tony West and knowing Dara Khosrowshahi and knowing how those investors operate, it's not good. Matthew says, Checker claims that they are not getting information fast enough. Okay, well, tell me they're still working with Checker. So Checker is now, what, blaming Uber that they're not getting the information? So we're playing the blame game here now? I mean, Checker makes a lot of money from Uber and Lyft, right? Is Checker now pointing fingers and say, hey, you know what? Would like to green light you, but Uber is the bad kid here holding up the information. Otherwise, we could green light you and off you go. We shall find out. Oh, the DMVs are slow. The DMVs are slow. Anybody that's gone to register a car at the DMV, I did that about 3 weeks ago. I probably waited about 3.5 hours in the COVID line. So yeah, but still that's no excuse, right? I mean, Checker is saying that the DMVs are slow. Okay, good. That we got to look at that as a legit argument, right? I would maybe like to try and contact the manager at the DMV or someone at the DMV, right? Are you getting these requests from Checker, and are you able to keep up with these requests? No, we can't. We, the DMV, are understaffed during the COVID. We can't keep up with all of those demands. Then we've identified the issue. But we have to get to the bottom of this. There's something going on. But face value, I appreciate that. That is probably the smartest feedback I've heard to date as an argument why this is taking so long. And Matthew Irvin says the DMVs are acting slow. Checker is saying, hey, we're on the ball. We'll do our job. But the California DMV, the Utah DMV need to work with us, and they're not. Good point. I appreciate it. Roy Watka says in Vegas, Nevada, Uber is charging for inspection. Before it was free, so to drive for Uber, they are capitalizing from the drivers. Correct. Now they're taking even more money, right? They used to subsidize that fee. Now they're dumping that fee on you. Additional cost, trimming the fat, not willing to do what they once did. So the scenario, as I said, it's the race to the bottom. Indy says, I sure wouldn't mind if they did background checks on passengers. Amen, amen, amen. Please, 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 please. Yes, I've been preaching that for years. I hope that happens. But they wouldn't pause making $1 for a second, right? So they're not willing to dump that tiny little fee on the passenger. Oh, let's not upset the rider. Let's not upset the passenger. Let's not subject a passenger that has possibly a very, very strong, powerful criminal background. Let's not expose him or her to a background check. No, we don't have the money for that. So whatever happens in that car, whatever history, whatever criminal history that rider brings into that car, you know what? See no evil, hear no evil, smell no evil. Darius says, yeah, I just got an email for that background check. They said it's on final stage, which is, I think, is BS. It should have been ready by now. Correct. And how long have you been waiting, Darius? How long have you been waiting for that? Probably for quite a while, right? All right, my leg is throbbing. I need to get a painkiller. I need to get some food in my body. Just realize if I can stick in for another 1.5 minutes, I would have completed a 90-minute live feed. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's a great day. A great Our House Mondays. I really appreciate all that great feedback from you guys. We're on 26 likes. If somebody can squeeze in a like so we can get it up to 30, that would be awesome. If there's anybody that hasn't hit the like button, the more likes a video gets, the better the algorithms, the more views the video gets, the more it climbs the ladder. And few people helped to push us to 30. So, and we're on 31. All I can say is thank you. Thank you for pushing us over us, and I mean us collectively as the channel, as the voice for drivers. Thank you for pushing us over the 30 mark. Scott Tucker, Archtime Gamer, Darius, Indy, Roy, Slick Nick, all of you. And I'm just reading out the names that are on this. And all the other people, all the other 20 people. I called out 4 or 5 people. There's another 15 people watching. If I didn't call out your name, you are included. A huge thank you. I wish you a happy Monday. Keep your family safe. Disinfect your cars. Make sure you go out and wear your masks. And the N95 is obviously better than the KN95. This is the KN95. It lets more through versus the N95 probably costs you about $5. This will probably cost you about $1.50, right? So if you can squeeze in that budget for an N95 mask, do it. Might be the difference between, getting the virus and not getting the virus. Indy says, I spent many years in holistic health. Love that topic. Take care. Eat some mustard. Mustard's a great one. Actually, mustard is a great herb for the pineal and the pituitary gland, the thinking center, especially like French or Dijon mustard is really, really good. And the pineal and the pituitary glands are the smallest glands in the body. They're about as big as a rice corn. They sit right over here. They, some people call it the chakra, but those little glands, mustard does wonders for them. Opens up the thought center. Reusable cloth masks. That's what you're wearing, Slick? Okay, better than nothing. Archheim Gamer says, thanks, Indy. My appointment is at 5. Good luck with that appointment. I had a little bit of a back and forth where I said to the guy, I think you're being rather disrespectful. I drove down to Orange County yesterday, 1 hour, 25 minutes down, 1 hour, 10 minutes back, 2 hours, 35 round trip for 350, which I thought was good. And then the individual, I don't want to mention his name, I wasn't trying to be a smartass, but what I was trying to tell this individual is that I was approaching this as a business, because what he did not know is that in the 1.5 hours down, I probably made $30, $40 on YouTube additionally. He said that trip cost me $65 because it was a 5-hour round trip. No, it wasn't. It was 2 hours and 35 minutes. And I used less than $40. In fact, I used $38 of gas. So, when people start assuming, or people tell you, hey, you're doing it the wrong way, you're not making enough money, do the math, right? Unless you're in the car with me, don't assume. Don't assume you know what numbers I'm doing, what I'm paying for gas, how long I'm driving. And I had it out with the guy. I said, I treat this as an LLC, right? That private client. What the person also did not know, that on the return trip, 2 hours, 35-minute round trip, right? It was a brief pit stop, 5-minute detour to drop off also jewelry for another client, which was another $85, right? So if you don't know the totality of 2 hours and 45 minutes, if you're coming in with all of these assumptions, you're making an ass. Assume you're making an ass of you and me. Never assume, right? But if you had the conversation with me first and said, how did it go? How long did it take? What did you spend on that trip? What did you make? I would have gladly broken it down for that individual. But because it was a lecture, because it was somebody who was bringing me Uber numbers to my private numbers, I said, you have the facts and the information wrong. That's incorrect. Your time is wrong. Your gasoline costs are wrong, right? Your overall earnings are wrong. Those are all 3-4 big assumptions, right? So I try to not do that. Assume what Sherelle is making on a specific day, right? Bring me the facts. Hey, I work on UberX in this city on a Saturday. I did 8 hours on UberX in Salt Lake City. I made X amount of dollars. I made $140. Then we can reverse engineer the numbers and get some really, really true facts. But when it comes to private clients, firstly, I say the world's your oyster. There's so many other possibilities, right? And never assume and never judge the book by its cover. Scott Tucker says copper can help with slowing COVID in the air. Are you talking about colloidal copper or general copper? I think you're talking about colloidal, right? Sherelle is in the house. Slick Nick, oh yeah, you give us the results of your COVID test. I tested negative when I took the COVID test, but I'm going to play it safe and quarantine most of this week. I'm going to take another test around midweek and still negative, back to work. Good. That's just being a responsible human. You being responsible and you caring for the fellow members, your family, your friends around you. Amen to that. Diego Mazerian is in the house. Sending my love to Diego. Good to see you, buddy. I appreciate you. I always love Diego's feedback. It's just straight, smart, to the point. You are appreciated. Good to see you here. Good. All right, my friends. Happy Monday. Make this an amazing, amazing week, right? Have a great, great week, everyone. And if we can, I'm ending the one.